Hi guys, nearly Italia Autos here. Welcome back to another episode on my channel. In this episode this week we have Cup number 43. Been off the road for quite a few years, so we need to see what's needed to get it back to being roadworthy. So yeah, as you can see from the bodywork, it is in need of a little bit of TLC. All the way around we have got lacquer peel, scrapes and scrapes, alloy wheels are curbed, every single panel has lacquer peel on it, every single panel is a totally different colour as well. So it's definitely had a hard life. It's only done, I think it's done 63,000 miles. But it is in desperate need of some TLC. Now, this is a customer's vehicle, so I am going to be quoting for all the work on this one first. He's aware that I'm filming videos on it. So this one could be a nice few-part video. What we've got here as well is a genuine brand new Cup front bumper. So it's not just bodywork we need to look at, we need to look at a few other bits and bobs as well. The driver's seat has seen better days. We've got some wear on the bolster. This lower bolster here has no material left at all, but I'm sure we can make a good seat out of a standard cloth one if we can get hold of one. But the main problem with the seat is, if you can see it, is the bolster is twisted and probably snapped. So that's going to be a nice one to fix. I've not had a GTV seat apart in quite a few years now. Let's have a look underneath the bonnet. Let's just pull the bonnet open. That's heavy. Right, it's all present and accounted for. We do have what appears to be an oil leak from the front rocker seal or something, because you can see it all dribbling down behind there. Some random wires trading underneath here from something. Let's have a look at the coolant on it. Rather dark. Ooh. Okay, not good, not good. That is a sign of a head gasket gone. Yeah. All oil in the coolant, which is not good at all. So it looks like this one needs head gaskets, as well as cam belt, and a few other bits and bobs. Right. So now I've found that one out, I want to get it on the ramp now and see what else needs doing, because there's no point quoting for everything if the head gasket's gone and the customer doesn't want to pay for that. So right, let's get it inside and on the ramp. Let's start at the front and work our way back. Initially I can see that the radiator, as though it's been off the road for 4 years, the radiator isn't that badly corroded or damaged, so maybe it's had a new radiator not long before it went off road. There's a little bit of weeping from the oil cooler pipes, nothing emergency, I would say do it straight away. The brakes are not too bad, they are pitted and grooved, they should clean up and have a little bit of life left in them. Let's see if we can see a pad. Pads have got probably about half life left in them from what I can see. A little bit of scrubbing on this tyre here, so I would imagine worn wishbones would make the tracking out, which would make it wear the inner edge of the tyre. A little bit of oil there for some reason. It's not come from the sump. It looks like the sump's been resealed at some point in its life, judging by the amount of gasket sealant that's there. Oil leak is from the back of the engine, so it's probably from the oil filter. That definitely needs changing. We've still got the original CF3 cats on it. The front exhaust pipe has had a good bit of curb action, or road hump action. So right, that's the front end sorted. Let's have a look at the chassis. Loads of bad jacking point usage. No major spots of rust, just your normal bits that you get there. You see them in a lot of the videos I do because that's a common point for them going. This side again, more jacking damage. I wish people wouldn't use little jacks on these seals because it just crushes them instantly. A little bit of rust there, but nothing major. I've seen a lot worse. And again, just there. Rear suspension now, it has been polybushed on the spring pans, but the dogleg arm hasn't been done. TRW rear shockers, they aren't original Alfa ones, so they have been upgraded at some point in its life. Rear discs and pads. Again, same as the front. Should clear up. And you'll want some pads within a few thousand miles, I'd imagine. Exhaust hanger's rusty at the back. That's nothing to stress over. Still got the sticker on, so that might not be that old. Before it was taken off the road anyway. So let's grab my pry bar and see what these suspension components are like. Okay, let's try and get in here and give this front one a little bit of a pry. A little bit of movement in that, but you can see the rubber's starting to fail, so I would immediately say it needs changing anyway. Let's just check this rear one. Yeah, quite a bit of movement in that one. Anti-roll bar link is quite old and rusty anyway, so they will come off and get changed because they're only cheap anyway, so I won't even bother looking at those, I'll just change them. That's not too bad. On this side, let's just turn the wheel round. Side's not too bad, but you can see the rubber's wearing again, and again on the front one you can see the rubber's starting to fail there. So yeah, I want some wishbones, some drop links. The drive shaft seals all appear to be okay. I can't see any grease anywhere. Let's check the rear dog legs out. Some cracking in the rubber there. Not too much play. I'd say that one could probably do with changing because I'm not putting much force on that at all, and you're getting a fair old bit of movement. Now with the rear dog legs, as you can see, this bush is probably pretty much gone. If you can see how straight that washer is there, it should be roughly the same as that, so it's due to be changed because it's sagging, and that one isn't sagging half as much. So I would say we want 2 rear bushes at the back, and other than that we should be good. Exhaust rubbers, I could do with an exhaust rubber here, as you can see that's worn through and will be rubbing when you go over bumps. Spring pans, although a little rusty, they're not that bad. I've seen a lot worse. That one's a little bit worse, but I think they're still solid. Rear springs, they're not broken. Bump stops fell off, but they always do. Let's check out the rest of the fluids while it's on the ramp. Power steering fluid's low. You can't see that, but on camera it does look rather black, so that could do with changing as well. Brake fluid. That's quite dark as well, so that could do with changing. Engine oil. Let's just wipe that dipstick off because it's showing rather full at the minute. Yeah, it's overfilled with oil. It doesn't look as though there's water in it. But I could be wrong because I'm only looking at a dipstick. Now let's just have a little look in this coolant bottle and see what state it is. I don't know whether you'll be able to see any of that. But from what I can see that there just about, you can see a really bad build-up of oil contamination by the look of it. So I would say the head gasket has possibly gone. There is more tests I need to do on it. So what I need to do now is total up the cost of repairs, because it's going to want a cam belt, it's going to want a starter motor, water pump service, front wishbones, front anti-roll bar links, all the tyres are okay. It's going to want 2 rear bushes doing, but we might just leave that for now because we can just see what we can do, get the actual mechanical side of things running first. What else is it going to need? It's going to want all the bodywork doing. It's going to want that seat repairing. I may have to have a word with Giuseppe at GTV City, see if he's got any spare seats that I can transfer it all off. So yeah, join me back in a minute once I've totaled it all up and gone back to the customer. Right, had a word with the customer, gave him the bad news and the rough cost of the repairs. I'm not going to go into the costings on here because it's not fair to the customer to do that, but I think the next stage is we need to properly do a pressure test on the engine to see whether that head gasket has gone or what's going on down there. So we shall get to that next. I'm going to be doing the head gasket test on it now. As you can hear that tensioner rattling its head off with the cam belt. I have made the customer aware, but he does want me to do the head gasket test anyway, because there's no point doing the cam belt if the engine's got to come out to do the clutch, the starter motor and the head gasket anyway. So he has said, be it if it does break, it's on him. So we're going to let the engine warm up a bit and test this head gasket out. So this is my block tester. I've had to get some new fluid for it. So we just need to put normally a cap full. Probably 2 capfuls to be honest, but yeah, just up to that line there. Engine's up to temperature now, so let's take that cap off carefully and let's see if that fluid changes colour. So unfortunately, it seems like it's bad news. That's the colour of the fluid when I put it in, and that's the colour it's gone. It's gone like a greeny, yellowy colour, so it's a sign that the engine is letting combustion gases into the cooling system. So it does seem as though the head gasket is gone. So I think we're going to have to be removing the engine on this one. So I've had a word with the customer. Unfortunately, his circumstances have changed and he doesn't have the immediate funds to rip the engine out and get everything done that's needed on it. I am going to be keeping the car here until he gives me the go-ahead. So I've got plenty of room at the moment, so I can always store it in the back of the unit. So unfortunately, this isn't the way I wanted this episode to end. It would have been nice to have the go-ahead to rip the engine out and start restoring this lovely little cup. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll bear with me on this one. This one will be going on for a while, more than likely. As always, if you like the video, please consider subscribing and also give it a like. If you have any questions, please comment them down below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.